let's get into the nitty gritty of things. So Sixers, obviously the number 3 pick. Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse have talked about this, and we're going to get to a few different topics here in this segment. But let's just talk with what Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse have to say, the two decision makers in Philadelphia, what they're talking about after getting this pick. This is Daryl Morey this week on Philly Radio and Nick Nurse on Philly Radio.
3, we feel very comfortable about the player who'll be there. Really excited, and yeah, it was definitely a celebration day and a high drama day that all Philly fans and everyone in the front office and coaching staff went through.
You said you're pretty confident about who you like at 3, the player that you're going to be able to get. That would lend itself to believe that you are going to take a player at 3. Is that the scenario that you guys are rolling with?
Yeah, that's the plan. I think to get a high upside player that we also think can contribute right away is a big deal, and we feel like 3 is a great spot to be. We're going to go with the best player there, which is why we're excited about how good the top of the draft is, and then we'll have to work around who we draft in free agency. But if you look at the history of the league, the mistakes are made when you don't just take the best player there. Now, work around it.
Now, we don't know who the player is that you're selecting at 3, but I will ask you, if it's one of the guards that are available in this NBA draft, how much do you take into account maybe the abundance of guards that you already have, or is that something that you ignore because you just want the best player available?
Yeah, we won't take that into account. Yeah, if the best player is a guard, we'll take a guard there.
They all know who's going number 1, and then we only got one team that can pick one of the 2 other guys that we want. So if we have a couple, we're in good shape, I think. So that being said, I just want most talent. Want somebody that competes to win. Toughness, work. Somebody understands that this is a grind and a job, and you got a lot of time to get better and a lot of time in the gym and a good teammate, man. We want somebody that wants to compete to win and be part of a great organization.
And in your mind, do you see yourself using this pick? I know there's going to be some player movement. There's some guys that may want out of their teams, wink, wink. But do you see you using this pick?
Yeah, our plan is to pick this pick. Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously, Daryl Morey says they're going to keep the pick, even though he said that everything was on the table after if we don't get number 1. But he says he's going to keep the pick. And then Nick Nurse goes on to say that they're going to go with one of the top 3 guys, really. So if Spurs don't pick Harper, the Sixers will take Harper. And if Harper is taken, they're going to take Ace Bailey. So pretty much it seems like that is the strategy, and that's quite frankly the strategy that should be. I think, because I think those are the top 3 guys in this draft class. I think those have been the top 3 guys all year. I know people want to overthink things, but the first thing I want to get to, obviously, Teja. Well, actually, what do you make about what Nurse and Morey said?
I mean, I'm not surprised by anything they said. I figured they would say that. Even if they were planning on trading it, they would say exactly what they said. I do think it's a 4-player draft, though. I think a lot of guys have VJ ranked neck and neck with Ace, so I don't think it's crazy to think that it could be him, or maybe throughout this draft process VJ could go above him. So I think it's a 4-player draft. So, but yeah, I think you're in great position at 3.
A lot of Sixers fans think we should just trade back. Houston being the team, because a lot of people think Houston's going to be a part of the Giannis sweepstakes. Houston involves us in a 3-team trade. We trade our 3 pick. This is one rumor I saw. We trade our 3 pick to Houston. We get Houston's first round pick to get our number 3 pick, and they could throw us Terry Eason as well in that trade. That's just one of the many possible proposals I've seen online as far as a mock trade if Houston were to involve us in the Milwaukee Giannis sweepstakes. What do you make of a trade back, and what do you make of a potential move like that? We move to number 9 or number 10 and get Terry Eason, and they get our 3rd pick. What do you think about that?
It's enticing. I've seen a few of those. There's the Terry Eason. Also, Jabari Smith was the other guy that was rumored to be that deal, who was like the Ace Bailey 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like 21, 22. He's like he's the age of some of the guys coming out right now. Yeah, I mean, if you were to forget about all the trade stuff, if someone was like, hey, I'm looking at what the Fox Sports one just came out a couple hours ago. Knipple, 10. So if you were to say, who would you rather have, Ace Bailey or Knipple and Jabari Smith? It's not an easy one, man. That's a really 90% of people would say Knipple and Jabari Smith. That's guaranteeing he's be there. He's not guaranteed to be there, right? So it is tough. The other one was the Cam Johnson and then moved to 8. Knipple would have a higher chance of being there at 8, I think. But I'm more inclined to keep it. But if they like a few guys in that 5 to 10 range, and they like, I'm a big Easton fan. I like Jabari Smith. Cam's interesting because Cam will become with getting rid of some of those vets that we've had. That it sounds like more he kind of regrets getting, and he wants to go with the young guys. That would be his consolidation and go. We got Cam. We also got the 8th pick. Probably Knipple. And you get rid of Gordon. You get rid of Drummond. You get rid of those kind of guys in that deal. I would assume opt in and trade to make that salary work. Probably Oubre will probably have to go in that deal.
Probably.
Bring in Johnson, bring in Knipple. So, you know me, I'm always open to talk about trading it, especially if you're still getting a top 10 pick. It's not like you're just trading away that pick. So I'm open-minded about those deals. They're not bad deals. Cam one's definitely a win now, but you also get the Knipple, and Knipple's he's a top 5 for some guys draft boards. So that's no slouch. Some people called him the most skilled player on that starting 5 last year. So, and you're getting Cam Johnson, a guy who people have wanted to fit seamlessly with our team as it is. And then the Houston one, you're still getting 10. And you're going to get a guy who was the Ace Bailey of his draft a couple of years ago, who, by the way, it's not like he's busted. He's just on a stacked squad. What did he average? 12 and 7 last year? I mean,
and he's actually a pretty good rebounder too, Jabari Smith. I think he's got more of the rebounding chops than Ace Bailey does as of right now.
I mean, if Ace Bailey came in and averaged 12 and 7, we'd be calling him the next guy at this point in his year. So, I mean, yeah, dude, his first 3 years in the NBA, he's averaged 13 and almost 8, and shooting 34% from 3. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a big Jabari Smith guy. I think he's got loads of potential. How old is he right now? He's 22. He just turned 22 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday, actually. His birthday yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
So fresh 22, right? So,
right.
That'd be hard. It'd be hard to turn down. If you could
Yeah.
somehow get a little higher than 10 after getting that trade, but I don't know. It's really hard to move 1 or 2 picks. But yeah, I'm open-minded about that. We're open for business.
Yeah, I mean, those deals wouldn't. I mean, it depends how high they are on the Ace Baileys or the Harpers of the world, and where the VJ Edge comes. If they are high on those guys, then yeah, obviously they're not going to do those trades because they think those guys are.
If Harper's there, they're not doing that trade.
Yeah,
they're not doing. I would say they don't do that because
Yeah.
from everything I've heard, it's a slightly tiered down.
well, yeah, because they say Flag and Harper are day 2 right away. They're starting guys in the league. Those are the only 2 guys who are you say right away they're starting.
The other guys, you have to work with some of their rough edges out of them.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you say, okay, he's got rough edges. Is it that much? Is he that much better than Knipple plus a Jabari Smith or plus a Cam Johnson? Now we're talking that's tough. I can argue that, right? Will a team want to go all in? But you know what? They might one of those teams just might absolutely love, VJ or Ace to be we're going to just develop the hell out of him and try to make him that high end version of what everyone says he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting off season, of course. But yeah, the number 3 pick makes things even more interesting in the 2025 off season for the 76ers.